أم حسبت أن أصحاب الكهف والرقيم كانوا من آياتنا عجبا.
Going back to the story, because the idea is that we try to see the pearls. Quran is just like a sea of pearls. Whatever, and every time you dive, you will find a different pearl. And if two people dive in the same place, they both will find a different pearl.
Yes.
Am I right, sir?
Yes.
So whenever we find a pearl, we'll try to bring it to you from our understanding. That might not be the last word, of course. That has only our understanding.
Yes.
Okay.
Wallahu alamu bis-sawab. Allah knows the best.
Yes, of course. So, sir, we were talking about the third journey of Zulkarnain, and we mentioned that the metallurgic is already, metallurgical.
Extreme professionalism.
By the way, his journeys itself is another example of astronomy, traveling.
Yes.
How did he travel from one corner to the other?
Yes.
Think about it.
Yes.
Today, if you sit on a plane from here to US, it's an 18 hours direct non-stop flight. Even then, you get, sweating and
Yes.
irritation and everything.
Fatigued. Yes.
So he apparently he did not have an aeroplane at that time.
Yes.
So how did he travel? So this is also, he must be having something better than the others, isn't it?
He was good at traveling, and he traveled to all the corners. He was like always on the back of the horse. So if, as it is said, that practice makes you perfect. So if you keep on practicing a thing, may it be harder or not, it becomes very easier for you. For him, he was attuned. He was actually polished and matured into that warfare and preaching expeditions, taking expeditions to various places. So this was the longest journeys. These are not the only journeys. These are the longest journeys
yes.
he ever undertook.
No, exactly. So then he started. Okay, let's go back to the beginning of the story now. What is the significance of Yajuj and Majuj? Is it symbol, or is it something relevant to me today?
Yajuj wa Majuj. Allah uses Yajuj wa Majuj.
Yeah. And also, when you're talking about this, sorry to interrupt you, please do mention that the people, the place where Yajuj Majuj came, if there any geopolitical, significance of that place also. I would say let's add that two together.
Okay. I'll give the complete details of this, and this is again Wallahu alamu bis-sawab. This is a thing which came these occurred to me, and I have mentioned all these things in my book, and 7-8 years back it was published. So this is very important. The people, the nation which came encountered by Hazrat Zulkarnain in his third journey, they told Zulkarnain about Yajuj wa Majuj.
Which area was
Allah
it?
says, I'll discuss that. قالوا يا ذا القرنين إن ياجوج وماجوج مفسدون في الأرض. This is very important. That Yajuj or Majuj are connected with the fasad fil ards. They are corruptors of this world. Okay, this is very important. One. Number two, Yajuj wa Majuj means these are two nations.
Yes.
Not one.
Not one.
They are two nations, not one. And they are intermingled. It is like a twisted rope where you have various strands which are twisted in a way that rope appears to be a one rope.
One rope. But
So this is where Allah tells us about these are two nations, but their goal is one, single goal, that is,
objective is clear.
yes, there are,
Are they somebody's army?
yes, yes. We'll come over to that. But before that, I will just explain about the three eras
Yes.
of Yajuj and Majuj.
True.
Quran gives us the story of Yajuj and Majuj.
And viewers, you can see this eras graphically also on your screen.
Yes. So the first era of Yajuj and Majuj was once they would cross through that place, that pass you can say, in the mountains as we have passes, they used to come to pass through that pass, and they had this nation in the surrounding, the adjacent of in the adjacent place,
areas, yes.
nearby place from that pass, and they would corrupt that nation. Okay, that those people were terrorized, and they were like fascist people, and they would terrorize, they would corrupt their animals, their crops, and kill people and do whatever they wanted to. But this era signifies that they would not cross the limits of that nation.
Yes. So the geopolitical boundary
Yes.
was actually defined. It's not undefined.
Yes. In the first era, there was a limitation, or they would not.
Because I think the Quran uses the word of one nation in it, isn't it?
Yes.
What's the right word?
Yes,
The
there
Quran
is a nation which was confronted by al-Qarnayn.
It doesn't say the al-Arz, it just says about
Yeah.
one nation.
Yes,
So it's
one
one
nation.
area.
Yes, they were people which was nearby to that pass, and that was the only people who were made subjugated to their terror and whatever they would do. So they were the corruptors. They would not cross the bounds of that particular area, and they go back. This was first era.
First era.
Era number, I would call it the era of limited aggression.
Okay. Or controlled.
Yes, control. Geographically, they were not going all out. All right, they would just cross that pass and do whatever they wanted to do, snatch property, whatever they wanted to do, and they would go back. So this is the first era. The second era, Allah gives us, and that era, as we discussed already about the wall, they created the wall. Hazrat al-Qarnayn made the wall.
So second era is where they are confined
Yes.
behind the wall and they cannot come out. That's
Yes.
where the second era.
Yes.
So I'll just summarize. The first era is where they were terrorizing. They had a lot of tyranny and everything going on. Second era is when they are confined behind the wall, and the third era is which is linked to me,
yes.
to you.
Let's
to
see
everyone.
where we are. We will see that thing, where we are.
No, we have this trend now. Where
Yes.
we are.
Where we
what
are.
will happen if we move in the same path?
Yes.
And if we don't do the course correction, I will not say U-turn.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Okay. So the second era is like the wall was created as that nation asked Hazrat al-Qarnayn, "An tajala baynana wa baynahum sadda," that you create a wall between us and them. So that wall was created, and Yajuj and Majuj, they were barricaded behind that wall. So this is second era. And in this era, the whole world, including that nation, were safeguarded. They were prevented from the tyranny and the aggression or the whatever they were doing, and everything was safe and sound because of the goodness which was done by Hazrat al-Qarnayn. And now the third era. Third era is very important. And over here, ayah, which I would like to quote, this is very important, which actually highlights that what is the significance of this era. Allah says in Surah Al-Kahf, 97 number verse, Allah says, فَمَسْتَاوْ أَنْ يَزْهَرُوهُ وَمَسْتَتَاوْ لَهُ نَقْبًا.
Nakaba.
Yes, this is
What
very
does it mean, sir?
important. Over here,
what
there
does
are two things. That Gog and Magog, Hazrat al-Qarnayn made the wall, and they were prevented from two things. One, climbing, surmounting from the top. So if Yajuj or Majuj are able to surmount it, climb through the wall, then the value of the you can say invincibility of that wall is compromised.
Is compromised.
It is over.
True.
And the second thing, Allah says, they are unable to pass over it. This is one thing, and they cannot penetrate. They cannot make hole through the wall. This is second thing.
This is 97, 98.
97.
98, I think.
97.
97.
Naqaba.
Naqaba.
As we say in Urdu, naqab.
Naqab.
Lagana.
Naqab zani.
Yes, naqab zani. That they will not be able to pierce through that wall. If that hole is created, or they surmount from the top of the wall, in both cases, the invincibility of that wall is going to get lost. And that is where another, in the next verse, Allah says
98.
98. As al-Qarnayn say, قَالَ هَذَا رَحْمَةٌ مِّن رَبِّي. This is the grace of Allah Almighty. Till whatever time He desires, this remains as a barrier for Yajuj and Majuj.
And this is, viewers, another important point that you have to understand. He did not say, Zulkarnain, that I did this.
Yes.
See? Remember that we were talking about the 3 questions when came? We haven't concluded that yet, but just to give you an idea, this is from the Rahmah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Everything is through the blessings and grace of Allah Almighty, which normally this is our what you can ignorance or whatever, that I claim that this is my knowledge, this is my doings. These are just nothing. I have small little action, small little bit of my intention which was there.
Absolutely, as an intention.
As I would like to quote Archimedes. He was a scientist, and he said, "Give me a lever long enough and a place to stand, I can lift the world."
With the lever and the fulcrum?
Yes.
That's what he's referring to.
Fulcrum is small little place. You can call that fulcrum as your intention.
Yes.
Okay? And the lever arm, a long lever arm, that is your doing. Okay? Your action. Your action and intention are like fulcrum.
Yes,
and
true.
The
lever is the
yes,
action that and the gift that you reward that you get.
Reward of Allah Almighty. Sometimes we do small little things and the reward is
much bigger than
10 times, as we say Alif Lam Mim. That is not 1.
Yes.
It is 30 rewards, which we say that 30 rewards.
And multiplied by 70 in Ramadan.
Yes. And 70 and 700 times is the ultimate. That is, no trade is like this, which we can trade with Allah Almighty. He gives the reward several times. It is like, give us a lever long enough and a place to stand, or a fulcrum, and we can lift the whole world. We can do everything in the present day, the technology which is there around us. We can do, like this podcast, we are telling all these things as we are discussing. It is going to the farthest corners of the world.